Welcome back to Okaloosa Today on Cox. I'm Doug Rayner with the City of Destin, and as we enter the spring months, we have a couple of guests here to talk about some of the programs and events that go on in the city in our recreation department. And today joining me is Nick Coleman and Aaron Bradley, both program coordinators within the city. Both have different roles with different groups. And first, Nick, I'd like you guys to introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you oversee in the city.
Well, my name is Nick Coleman. I oversee the youth programs throughout the city and some special events.
Okay. And Aaron?
My name is Aaron Bradley. I'm program coordinator too. I oversee the adult programs and special events, and I'm office at City Hall. So.
Okay, yeah, right. You're at City Hall. Nick, you're over at the Community Center, and you both are very involved in all of the programs. I know saying that you're working with youth and you work with the adult programs, that's really not the case all the time. You guys kind of cross over and do a lot of stuff, and not just the programs but the big events too. And we'll talk about some of those programs and events as we go through here. But first thing we'd like to do is make sure everybody knows that spring is a big time for programs, soccer, football, those kinds of things in Destin, and have you guys sell our programs to our folks out in the watching these shows. So let's start with you, Nick. Let's talk about a little bit some of the big. Let's do events first. Let's talk about some of the big events coming up in the spring.
Well, right now our major event is our 14th annual Run with the Dogs, which is March 15th. You could register online on Run With It, Run Sign Up, and Active.com. Fees are 20 until March 1st, and then 25 until the 14th. Mm-hmm. All participants get shirts, and if you win or place in your age group, you get a nice little mug.
Very good. And that event you said is the 14th year?
Yes, sir. It's the 14th year.
So, you can go to our website, cityofdestin.com, to get to all of these places you were talking about. Tell us a little bit about the event itself. What kind of crowd do we expect? It's a 5K, I think. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's a 5K. It's 3.1 miles. It's actually one of those fun runs with your pets, your dogs. One of the very few in the area that you can do. Last year we had over 120 come out with their dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it gets started right over at the dog park, right?
Yes, we start at the dog park and we run back into Indian Bayou. The run starts at 9 a.m. If you plan on registering the day of, you want to be there between 7:30 and about 8:30.
That's right. Okay, good. That's March 15th, starting at 9 o'clock over at the dog park at City Hall Annex on Indian Bayou Trail. Mm-hmm. Aaron, there's another event that we have every year. It's the big Easter egg hunt. And I know that you're involved with that, and Nick, you're involved with that as well. I think one of our guests here actually dresses up as the Easter Bunny sometimes. But tell us a little bit about the Easter egg hunt that's coming up in, I think it's in April, right?
It is. It's the Saturday before Easter.
Okay.
We have 4 different age groups plus the infant crawl.
Yes, we have a toddler crawl.
Toddler crawl. That's
toddler crawl. There you go.
Yeah.
Try to make room for everybody.
Yes.
Where does this event take place?
It takes place out at Morgan Sports Center.
Okay.
They had all the eggs in the softball fields. Lots of eggs, like
12,000.
Over 10,000. Yeah.
12,000 eggs you guys hide. And that's another thing to think about, is just to hide 12,000 eggs takes a lot of staff, a lot of manpower. I know you guys have people that work with you. How many people on staff in the recreation department put on our programs and events, just roughly?
Roughly, we have about a good 8. I want to say 8. Well, of course, our maintenance staff outside, they help out, which is a tremendous help. Depending on the event and who could show up, it all varies. Depending the day, of course, who's in town that weekend, things of that nature. But we have a lot of people that step up and help us out for all the events.
It takes a lot of volunteers.
That's a good point. We talk about that on the show all the time, the volunteers, and because if you think about the magnitude of the events and programs you guys do, 8 people, full, staff members, that's nothing. And most of a third of our staff is sitting right here at this table right now, trying to promote these events and get people to come out, and we have just thousands and thousands of attendees at all these events. So yeah, volunteerism is a big deal.
Yeah, without our volunteers, a lot of these events would not happen.
Very good. All right, well, those are our 2 big recreation events. But there's the programs that you guys do throughout the year, especially the spring coming up. Let's get into some of those. And we have two different groups, again, the adult groups and the youth groups. Let's talk about some of the youth programs to start with.
Well, right now we're registering for youth soccer, and that's going to go through March 7th. You can register online or at the Destin Community Center or even at City Hall. It's $25 if you're a city resident and $35 if you're not. Mm-hmm. We are still taking sponsors, sponsor teams, $100. And we are still looking for volunteer coaches. We do background checks and all that nature on our coaches. If they're interested, please give us a call. And as far as soccer goes, the age groups are from 3, as young as 3,
right,
all the way up to 15.
Okay.
Practices are through the weeks, throughout Monday through Thursday, and then games are on Friday nights. So it frees up your weekend.
When do the games start? What time frame in the year do they start?
They'll be starting April.
In April?
Yes.
And they run through May?
They run through May.
Okay, good. How about another youth program that's going to be taking place this spring?
We have our spring break camp,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be held at the Destin Community Center in various parks and areas in the city. It's $60 if you live in the city, $70 if you're non-resident. It runs March 24th through the 28th. That's Okaloosa County spring break.
Very good.
You don't have to live in the city, of course, or even our county to attend. For more information, you could contact the Destin Community Center. We'll be going to the park. We'll also have water day. Am I missing anything, Aaron, as far as?
Pretty much. They have lunch every day. We provide lunch,
Snacks.
We play lots of games.
And I've seen this camp. Kids really enjoy it. It's not just a babysitting time. It's really an involved outing for the kids that whole week of spring break.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we'll be doing crafts and games and everything like that.
Good. And it's a service to our community because a lot of parents have to go to work during spring break,
Exactly.
like we do.
Exactly.
So it's really a good opportunity, and the cost is very, very, very good for our residents and for our non-residents. You mentioned that you don't have to actually live in the city to be a part of that event and program. Any other youth events or programs we need to know about?
Those are the two main ones we have coming up right now. Later on, we'll have specialty camps during the summer. Stay tuned for those. We'll be getting flyers out for those coming up here shortly. Mm-hmm. They're going to run basically when school's over, June and July. They range from Splash Day, we'll have Big Truck Day, also fishing camp, things of that nature.
Very good, very good. And there are a lot of ongoing programs that kids and adults can take part in at the community center throughout the year. If anyone's interested, they can check out the city's newsletter. It's printed with the Destin log once a quarter, but if you miss that edition, you can also get it on the city's website. Just click on newsletters and you can see all of them. The Winter 2014 newsletter actually has all of those programs and events that we're talking about now and the ongoing things as well. So we have a lot of youth programs. We have a lot of adult programs too. And Aaron, since you oversee those, let's kind of talk about the event, or excuse me, not the events, but the programs that the adult leagues or adult leagues that we have in the city.
Okay. First, we just started our adult basketball league last week. We have a 30 over league on Tuesday and a 17 and over league on Thursday. They just started, so teams are already in. But if you want to play, you can come talk to the teams and see about getting on a team, or just come and watch.
All right, it's not too late to join if you'd like to come and be a part of that.
Teams are set, but individuals can join a team if the teams need space. So.
Okay, and that's where does that take place?
That's at the community center in the gymnasium on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights.
And these are real. This is a real basketball league. Are there referees and that kind of thing?
Each game has 2 refs and.
So it's the real deal.
It's the real deal. Yes, lots of fouls.
Lots of fouls. I'm sure there are. What else do adult leagues? Or what other adult leagues do we have in the city?
Well, next week we'll start our softball league, our adult softball league. We have men's competitive and recreation on Tuesday night. We have a co-ed league on Wednesday night, and adult real skills on Thursday night, which is probably one of my favorites.
What does real skills mean?
We provide the bats, so they have to use our bats. So everyone hitting with the same bat. So
you just create an even playing field, so nobody can come up there and be the superstar. I guess it's all real skills. I guess that makes sense. All right. Speaking of softball, Nick, over the years you've actually gotten really involved in a lot of the softball programs. You have some tournaments and that kind of stuff you might be looking at, maybe if it was spring or summer.
We've looked at some one-pitch tournaments. That's what we go right now.
One pitch
on
tournaments?
Friday nights. There's a lot of tournaments held in the area throughout Pensacola on Saturdays. We try to keep open Saturdays and weekends for the wide range of like youth tournaments that we got coming in the area right now. Our basically schedule is blocked out until I want to say August for youth tournaments.
That's actually a very good point. Yeah, it might not be easy to schedule a tournament because we're booked up. People are using the Morgan Sports Complex and Morgan Sports Center fields for tournaments and softball and some Little League baseball, right?
Softball, soccer, Little League baseball, lacrosse now, rugby. We have a lot of tournaments coming into our area, which is great because it puts heads in beds, as we know.
Great for our economy, that's right.
Yeah, teams coming from Georgia, Texas, Louisiana. When they come, they bring their family.
Well, good. And again, that's another side of what's going on at Morgan Sports Center and with our recreation department. That's really helping our economy. But kind of getting back to our residents and people who are playing in our programs and our leagues, tell us about this flag football league we have at the city.
Flag football is going to start on March 19th. It's Wednesday nights. It's a very competitive league. We have usually about 10, 15 teams. We have teams travel from Panama City, from Pensacola, just to play in our league. So it's a good league, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it's kind of taken off.
Yeah.
About how long have we been doing flag football in Destin?
Over 15 years easily.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're actually, as of right now, we're the only league in the county.
Oh, okay.
Even in Walton or San.
For adults.
Yes, for adults, of course. Even in Walton County and Santa Rosa County.
Okay. There's another event on here. I know it's kind of taken off in the last couple of years, adult kickball. And I think that starts in the summer.
Yes.
But, never too early to kind of promote an event or a program. So tell us about the kickball program.
Kickball is definitely the most fun event we have.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday nights. It'll be in the summer. So as soon as softball season finishes, we'll go straight into kickball. They play. There we can play on. Sometimes we play on the grass, and we're at softball fields, so it's kind of fun.
This is all done out at Morgan's also?
It's all done in Morgan's, yes.
Yeah, I noticed that that kickball league gets a lot of press coverage. I know the Destin Log likes to come out and take pictures of that because it's such an interactive event. People get really excited about it. I think you guys dress up. And now, are you guys both involved in those leagues as far as the coaching or the refereeing or playing?
I personally don't play. I ref if we don't have someone show up.
Right.
But that's about it right there.
And I've played in every kickball league we've had. So.
Oh, good. So you get to take advantage of that too.
Yes.
Let's kind of go back to the volunteer aspect, what we were talking about. We have all these programs. We have 8 staff members plus our parks and recreation maintenance guys who really help us put these things on. But what does the staff need? And again, volunteers. We need coaches. We need people to volunteer to referee. I mean, I imagine it doesn't even really pay anything. Is that right?
Coaches? No.
Coaches doesn't pay anything.
No.
But
you get a T-shirt.
You get a T-shirt, and you get the opportunity to help kids be a part of a community environment and that kind of thing. I think that's what you were telling me before, Nick, is how important it is to help these kids and the adults have an opportunity to play these organized sports. So coaches and referees, tell us how the referees work. I mean, is there training involved? How do you get to be a referee?
Yeah, we actually contract out through WFOA, West Florida Officials Association. Basically, if people are looking to referee, they would contact us, and we would get them in contact with that coach, that association. As far as training goes, they set up the training, and we participate and help them out. But they do go through training, how to handle the game, and also how to handle parents and situations. So there is training, and then we get them on the field as soon as possible.
Did you have something else to add to that?
That's good. We actually use the same organization for our youth and adults. So.
Okay, so all areas of the city programs that have referees are coming out of that group.
Yes.
That's good. Very organized. We know we're getting the right getting the right folks in there. Anything else exciting happening in our recreation department? I know that there's always something going on. There's anything new?
As far as this summer, we're looking at different camps like we talked about with the youth. We're looking at doing an outdoor camp teaching kids actually how to put up tents, create fires, not start a fire, control fires, if you would, control fires. And also we're teaming up with a garden group and teach kids how to actually plant plants and also do a vegetable garden possibly.
Oh, great. Lots of things going on at the community center at Morgan Sports Center with our recreation department. It's always good to hear this kind of stuff and see you guys talking about it, because we know that the youth and the adults really appreciate the time you put into it. There's something else that I know the recreation department, with some council direction, has recently implemented, and that's some walking paths. And I know that the paths weren't necessarily created, but for our people who like to recreate just to walk and get outside, we've added some mile markers and some distance markers for some of our pathways in the city. Nick, you know a little bit about that, don't you?
Yes. Starting basically on Airport Road, starting at the corner of Main Street and Airport, there's a mile marker and it starts at 0. And then from there all the way down Airport, going through the Commons extension to the dog park, is basically little mile markers every quarter mile. And basically that will come out to 1.75 miles. From that point, if you come on back, it will continue to come until it goes to 3.5.
Okay. Very good. And that also kind of ties into the walking path over at Morgan Sports Center, because I think that's marked off, and you can kind of get out of that loop if you want to and take off down that nice sidewalk that runs down Commons to Airport Road and all the way to Main Street and back.
And actually too, if you don't like running on the road or concrete, there's always our padded track over at the elementary school.
Well, very good point.
Which I believe is the only one in the county as well.
And we share that field with the elementary school. I believe we actually, it's a city park over there, and we work with the school system and actually have some of our programs and events over there, don't we?
Yep. We use that in the fall, of course, for our youth football, things of that nature. Football camps. There's going to be a few football camps this summer, and soccer tournaments over there as well.
Very good. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on the show today. Anything else you might want to say? I know we covered a lot. I know we want to encourage people to come visit our website and that kind of thing, and call City Hall or the community center if they need anything. But anything else you want to tell somebody?
As far as the Run with the Dogs, this year we changed it up a little bit. We're going to Bubba Gump's Shrimp Company for the after party.
Oh, good.
Also, I want to say that you can also check us out on Facebook, City of Destin Parks and Rec. We put a lot of our postings up there as far as our programs go. And as far as programs go, not only within the city, if you have ideas, anything as far as programs you would like to see in the city, don't hesitate to call us. Come talk to us, see what we can do. Maybe we get a new program started.
Very good. That's good information, guys. I want to thank you both for being here. We want to thank everyone for watching. Be sure to check out the Recreation Department's Facebook page. They also have a Twitter account. And the City of Destin's website, cityofdestin.com. Of course, you can always call us if you ever need anything. I want to thank you for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the City of Fort Walton Beach and Ted Corcoran next.